Okay, this next tutorial is going to teach you how to build your poster in Photoshop. And I have to preface this with, I don't know Photoshop very well, so these are the extreme basics, and I'm sure many of you can do way better than me. So this is just the least bit that you need to know. So I'm going to go to my launch pad and I'm going to find Photoshop and I'm going to open it. Okay, then I'm going to create a new project. So I'm going to go File and New. And notice it already says 12 by 18 inches, but sometimes it'll say pixels and there'll be another number there. So what I need you to do is I need you to change it to inches, and the size that you're going to choose is 12 by 18, and then you're going to make sure that your pixels per inch is 300. All right, now you're going to title this Social Studies Project, or whatever your teacher tells you to title it. So then I'm going to click OK. All right, and then those images that I found earlier that I cited, I put here on my desktop. So I'm going to take Harriet Tubman and I'm just going to drag her in onto my canvas. Now notice that I have these X marks. Now I want to make her smaller because I don't want her to take up my whole image. So if I hold the Shift key down, I can move these, I can resize her and keep the proper dimensions. If I don't hold the Shift key down, notice how I can kind of skew her. So once I find where I want her to go, I'm going to hit Enter. And then I'm going to go up here, I'm going to click on this little arrow icon, and I'm going to move her up here to where I'd like her to go. Okay, then I'm going to go over back onto my desktop, and I'm going to drag in my other image, and I am going to resize it. I'm going to hold my Shift key down, and I am going to move it right here, and I am going to hit Enter. Now I want to add my citations to my poster. So the first thing I have to do is I have to actually click on this little text icon, T icon. Now notice up here the size is 138.5. I really don't want that. So I'm just going to choose 30, and then I'm going to click under Harriet Tubman, and I'm going to go over to that Google document where I've already created those citations, and I'm going to copy the citation for that picture. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it right in Photoshop. So in order to move it around, I'm going to go back to the selection tool and I'm going to move it. Now this has a huge gap in between here. So I'm going to go back over to the text tool and I'm just going to fix it. So I'm going to hit back, and then you know what? I actually am going to make this font really small. So I'm going to make it 12, and I'm going to go back to my selection tool, and I'm just going to make sure that that citation is right underneath that image. So now I'm going to do the same thing for, and you should also note that it created a new layer over here on the right with that text. So now I want to add my other citation. So remember, I have to select that text tool. I'm just going to click on the side so that I can see my citation. I'm going to navigate back over to where I had already created that citation, and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to click back into Photoshop and I'm going to paste it. Now notice I still have that big gap again. So I'm just going to click delete and I'm going to click space. Then I'm going to get my selection tool and I'm going to move that right underneath this picture. And to have more control over your movements, you can use your arrows on your keyboard. Now what I want you to notice here is I chose not to shorten this URL in that last tutorial, so it might have been a good idea if I shortened that URL. So now I have these pictures, but actually I want to resize them and I want them to be centered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my citations where they are, but I'm going to click on my images. I'm going to take my selection tool and I'm going to move it over to the side, and then I actually want to resize this image So I'm going to go up to Edit, and then I'm going to choose Free Transform. So you can see that the shortcut is Command T. I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and then I'm going to move it over into the center. Okay, so now I need to again select this picture. My selection tool, I'm going to say Edit, Free Transform, hold the Shift key down, resize it, hit Enter, and then I'm going to move it over so it's in line. And then I'm going to move my citations as well. So, and this one. Oh, that one actually looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to add a title. So my title to my poster is just going to be Harriet Tubman. So I'm going to click on the text tool. I'm going to change the font to about 48. I'm going to, oh, see, it actually resized that citation because that citation was selected. So I'm going to edit, undo. Okay, now I'm going to go back my selection tool. I'm going to do my text tool. I'm going to click in here. I've made a new layer, so now I can resize my text, and I'm going to make it 60, and I'm going to say Harriet Tubman, and then I'm going to hit Enter. And then I'm going to hit my selection tool. I'm going to be able to move it around. But what's really cool about this is, like I was able to resize my images, if I go Edit, Free Transform, I'm not going to hold the Shift key down. I can actually resize my text, which is really cool. I can make it longer, and I can make it bigger. So again, that is the nitty-gritty basics of Photoshop that I can share with you.